What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. For some gamers, finishing a game is enough, but for others, the real challenge starts after the credits roll. I'm talking about the Platinum Trophies, the ultimate flex for PlayStation players. But not all plats are created equal. That's why today we're diving into the PlayStation Platinum Trophy Iceberg, from the easy wins to the legendary brutal beasts that haunt trophy hunters. We'll discuss it all today. Let's go. If you already know what an iceberg is, skip to this time step on the screen now. If you don't know what it is, let me explain. An iceberg is basically a tier list ranking of a certain topic from most known to least known. This iceberg has a little twist to it though. It is less so about how popular the game is and more so about how hard the game is. Although don't get me wrong, some of the games in the lower tiers are not well known at all. Let's get into Tier 1. My Name is Mayo is practically a rite of passage in the trophy hunting world. Not for glory, but for irony. The entirety of My Name is Mayo revolves around tapping a mayonnaise jar. That's it. You just mash the X button dozens of times until you unlock the Platinum Trophy, while getting in-game costumes and quirky messages. Despite how ridiculous it is, the game has amassed a cult following purely because it's so easy and self-aware. It exists as a parody, but also convenience. Trophy hunters often use it to boost their plat count. Imagine a dating sim, but every date ends with a vibrating message. That's Mr. Masagi, a bizarre, low-budget game that makes My Name is Mayo look like The Witcher. You'll cycle through dating profiles, pick the right dialogue options, and end up getting massaged by characters like ghosts, cows, or pirates. This game is ridiculous in tone, and leads into its own absurdity. Trophy-wise, it's a walk in the park. Nothing is missable, and there's no skill requirement. This is essentially a press-button simulator, which is exactly why it became infamous among hunters. This is a rare example of an easy platinum that actually feels earned. Bundled for free with every PS5, Astro's Playroom is a joyful platformer that doubles as a tech demo for the DualSense controller, but more than that, it's a love letter to PlayStation history. The platinum itself is straightforward. Collect all puzzle pieces, complete a few challenging runs, and explore every corner of the world. It's not hard, but it's lovingly designed and smooth. No cheap deaths or grind. And if you grew up with PlayStation, the references and collectibles make this game's plat surprisingly emotional for longtime fans. Spider-Man is often described as the perfect first platinum for anyone getting into trophy hunting. Why? Because it strikes a great balance. It's not too long, not too hard, and it feels awesome the whole way through. Most of the trophies are tied to story missions, side content like crimes and hideouts, and collecting all backpacks, photos, and landmarks. The game does not ask you to 100% all districts, but the map is manageable, and the swinging never gets old. Combat trophies are easy thanks to the game's smooth mechanics. There are no missables, and post-game cleanup is simple. This is a plat that respects your time and rewards you with a sense of accomplishment. Plus, it feels right to 100% in a game where you're literally a superhero. This open world RPG from Guerrilla Games gives you a deep world to explore, a compelling story, fairly gentle platinum route. Nothing is missable, an important feature for trophy hunting. Even after the final boss, you can fast travel around the map to complete errands, find collectibles, and take down optional machines. Combat requires some strategy, especially when facing larger machines like Thunderjaws and Stormbirds, but the game offers tools and flexibility. The game's trophy design is great. Side missions matter, collectibles are manageable, and even the hunting grounds are fair with practice. If you love the world, getting the platinum feels like a full tour through a lore's journey, and it preps you for the perfectly crafted Horizon Forbidden West. Alright guys, so Tier 1 was essentially just trophies that were kind of gimmicky or easy. But moving on to Tier 2, we're going to be looking at some more challenging and emotional invested games. Let's go. God of War 2018 marked a reinvention of Kratos, not just narratively, but mechanically. The Platinum echoes that shift. It's not a grind fest, but it demands focus. No difficulty-based trophies, which is a blessing, but there are definitely a few standout challenges, especially one named Sigrun, the Valkyrie Queen. To earn the Platinum, you'll have to track down and defeat all 8 hidden Valkyries, each a tough boss with unique attack patterns. Once you beat them, you face Sigrun, arguably one of the hardest boss battles in PS4 history. She's fast, brutal, and punishing. If you aren't perfect with your dodges and parries, you're basically night-night. The rest of the trophy list is structured around full map exploration, like chests, realm tiers, and hidden items. It's a plat that feels epic and satisfying, in line with the emotional and mythic scale of the game itself. Sucker Punch absolutely nailed the balance between visual beauty and satisfying gameplay with this one. Ghost of Tsushima's Platinum is a joy because it encourages players to immerse themselves in every corner of Tsushima without ever becoming a checklist simulator. You'll clear out Mongol camps, collect haikus, hot springs, banners, and charms, but the game keeps it intuitive. No collectibles are missable. Combat is challenging at first, but becomes manageable with upgraded gear. The plat requires a full map clear, but because exploration is so organically woven into the world, helped by the guiding wind mechanic, it never feels like a chore. This is the rare Platinum where the journey to 100% mirrors the protagonist's journey. Even though Fortnite is mainly known for its Battle Royale online mode, as well as the vast amounts of creative modes like Fortnite Festival and Rocket Racing, although maybe not so much that last one. The Platinum Trophy for Fortnite has all to do with the forgotten Save the World PvE mode. In this mode, you go from level to level, beating zombie-like creatures known as storm beasts. While the majority of trophies are for playing through the story and upgrading, the real trouble comes when you look at the grind trophies. One of them consists of you playing over 1,000 missions with other players. That is not exaggerated, folks. You literally have to individually click on a mission 1,000 times and complete it. Even if you play on an easier mission, this could take you up to, conservatively, 500 hours. So Fortnite's Platinum is placed here more so because of the time consumption rather than the pure difficulty. Unlike the first game, The Last of Us Part 2 is surprisingly lenient for trophy hunters. There's no grounded difficulty requirement, no permadeath runs, just a simple explore everything kind of plat. That said, the emotional weight of the story and the bleak tone can make replays draining. You'll need to at least play through the game 2 times, one for normal exploration and one to mop up collectibles and upgrades. The game's chapters are detailed with hidden safes, artifacts, trading cards, and coins to find. The upgrade trophies also demand you fully improve all weapons and skills, which takes careful planning. It asks you to walk slowly through a broken world to search every drawer and room, and by doing that, it sort of tricks you into absorbing all the emotional layers Naughty Dog packed into the game. All props to them for that. Square Enix crafted a dense, replay-heavy Platinum for this modern reimagining. The big roadblock, hard mode, where you can't use items and MP doesn't restore between fights. It changes the entire dynamic of the combat system and forces you to master the ATB mechanics. You'll also need to complete every side quest, find all music tracks, and do every VR battle, including the final chapter, defeating Bahamut and Pride and Joy. These can be absolutely brutal if you can't have a perfect setup. Worse, to get all Dresses trophy, you need to replay chapter 3, 8, and 9 on separate runs, so that's 3 partial playthroughs minimum just for a dress. Despite the grind, it's worth it. The combat is some of the best in the genre, and the plat represents complete mastery of the game's story, world, and systems. Moving on to Tier 3, These platinum trophies are no longer a breeze. They'll demand a serious time investment, often requiring you to grind, repeat, or learn intricate game mechanics. Not impossible, but certainly challenging. When it comes to Rockstar Games, the Platinum is never going to be a walk in the park, and Red Dead Redemption 2 is a beast. While the main story is engaging enough to draw you in for hours, the real challenge lies in the post-game. You'll need to fully complete the compendium by hunting every animal, find every treasure, and beat every mission. But what makes the game particularly difficult? The amount of missable content. A single wrong choice or forgotten side mission, and you'll have to reload a previous save to correct it. Then there's the online mode. While optional, it features its own set of trophies that involves hours of grinding in the Wild West. Leveling up in multiplayer takes patience, especially since many trophies depend on community or team-based activities like owning a property or completing stranger missions. This is a game that demands dedication and time, perfect for anyone who wants to lose themselves in a meticulously crafted world. Gran Turismo 7 is the ultimate racing sim, but the Platinum isn't for the faint of heart. It's a blend of grind and skill. You'll need to earn gold medals in every license test, which can be brutally difficult. The tracks are complex, and the AI doesn't mess around. While the majority of the Platinum comes from completing races, the game also involves unlocking all cars through the roulette wheel, which is mostly RNG. The grind is made more tedious with the sheer number of cars and events you need to complete. Buying your way through the game isn't an option either. You'll need to master the in-game mechanics and earn each prize fairly. This is a game where you need to combine skill with a commitment to the grind. If you want the Platinum, get ready to race against the clock and against your patience. Assassin's Creed games are no stranger to long grinds, but Odyssey takes it up a notch. The sheer size of ancient Greece is daunting. There are hundreds of locations to visit, merchants to kill, collectibles to find, and side quests to finish. The Platinum is very much about checking things off lists, collecting all the artifacts, defeating all cultists, and completing every quest. But there's a real sense of satisfaction in reaching the end, especially if you're a fan of Greek mythology. The merchant system, where you have to hunt down specific targets, can be a bit of a hassle, but it adds an extra layer of challenge. Plus, finishing all the trials requires insane levels of precision and strategy. While the grind can feel a bit repetitive, it's worth it for those of you who love open world adventures and have the stamina for it. Persona 5 is one of the most beloved JRPGs of all time, but to earn the Platinum, you'll need to juggle school life, friendships, romance, and dungeon exploration, and that means multiple playthroughs. The game doesn't just ask you to finish the story, it asks you to complete activities like fishing, maxing out social stats, and fully maxing out every confidant. Some of the endings require a higher level of preparation and multiple steps, like carefully timing which confidants you hang out with, so you don't have to miss out on any opportunities. The final challenge, however, is the hardest, defeating the game's optional bosses and completing all the palaces. It requires near perfect execution of the game's turn-based combat system, where each boss fight becomes a puzzle in and itself. Hideo Koshima's Death Stranding is often described as a walking simulator, but with a twist. You're delivering packages across a fractured, post-apocalyptic America. The challenge here lies in your delivery routes, which are complicated by environmental obstacles like wildlife and enemy NPCs. The Platinum comes from a mix of completing all chapters, earning high scores on deliveries, and fully upgrading gear. The game encourages you to revisit past locations to improve your delivery times and effectiveness. It's not hard in the traditional sense, but it's mentally exhausting to go back and forth through treacherous terrain. Add to the community-based system where players can leave equipment or build structures that help others, and you get an experience that combines long-term planning, patience, and persistence. The Platinum asks for a mix of skills, but ultimately it rewards those who have the stamina to see the journey through. Here we are, Tier 4, where only the most dedicated or skilled gamers can pass. The roadblocks are real, the stakes are high, and these platinums will truly test your limits. Cuphead is one of the most iconic indie games in recent memory, and for good reason. It's tough as nails. The platinum requires you not to only beat the game, but to do so with an A+ rank on every level and without dying on the simple difficulty. The real challenge here is the boss fights. They are intricate, fast-paced, and filled with bullet hell elements. You'll need quick reflexes, precision, and more than a little bit of luck to master each encounter. To make things even tougher, you have to complete all levels and secret stages in the game, and those A+ ranks are no joke. They demand near perfect gameplay. It's a platinum that forces you to master every nuance of the game, but it's incredibly rewarding when you finally complete it. From the creators of Dark Souls comes Sekiro, a game that takes combat difficulty to a new level. The platinum is tough because it requires you to finish the game while facing the challenge of perfectly timed parries, strategic combat, and multiple endings that hinge on your actions throughout the game. The most difficult aspect? The bosses. Sekiro doesn't mess around when it comes to enemies. They're aggressive, fast, and you need to read their patterns to survive. Every misstep can lead to death. Hard mode also removes items from your inventory and makes combat even more difficult, increasing the stakes. The platinum isn't for the faint of heart, but for those who succeed, it's a testament to a gamer's skill, patience, and perseverance, like many others on this list. From Software's Bloodborne presents one of the most intense and rewarding challenges in the world of trophies. The platinum demands that you fully explore the game, defeating each boss, collecting each item, and completing the Chalice dungeons. The hardest part? The Chalice dungeons, a labyrinth set of additional levels that offer brutal enemies, difficult bosses, and one of the hardest challenges in the game, the Depth 5 Defiled Dungeon, where you start with half health and must endure a long gauntlet of enemies. Beyond the dungeons, you also need to defeat all endgame bosses and find each unique weapon. The final stretch of the game demands near perfect precision and perfect timing to finish some of the hardest fights in the Souls-like universe. Tier 5 will make you question why you're still playing video games. It's not just about the time, it's about mental endurance, repeated failure, and obscure requirements that push players to their absolute limits. The path to these plats aren't smooth, it's the road less traveled, and it's paved with suffering. Ninja Gaiden is infamous for its brutal difficulty, and Ninja Gaiden Sigma on the PlayStation 3 is no exception. The platinum requires you to finish the game on Ninja Dog, Warrior, and Mentor difficulties, and then tackle the ultimate path of the Warrior mode. Each playthrough demands precise combat, insane flexes, and a near perfect memory of the game's complex controls and enemy patterns. The worst part? Even the first level enemies can kill you in seconds. This game's difficulty makes Sekiro look like a walk in the park. Boss fights are grueling, with zero margin for error. Additionally, the game's hidden chests and upgrades are hard to find, and the grind for resources to upgrade your weapons is a slog. It's one of those games where you'll likely rage quit, only to come back a few hours later, determined to beat just one more boss. The platinum is brutal, but achieving it feels like conquering a legendary challenge in all of gaming history. And before moving on to the next couple entries, I just want to say, I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself a little bit, but there's only so many ways I can say that these games, when going for the platinum, make you want to drive off a cliff. So, my bad. Dark Souls 3 is often considered the pinnacle of the series, but that doesn't make its platinum any easier. To get the plat, you need to complete the game with multiple builds, collect all rings, complete all NPC quests, and slay every boss, including the secret bosses that only the most determined players find. The real kicker? New Game Plus. New Game Plus is where the game's real challenge begins, with enemies that become more aggressive and lethal. You'll need to grind through the same amount over and over while maintaining your sanity. PvP trophies require facing other players in combat, another element that can drain your patience, especially if you're facing off against people that have mastered the combat mechanics. Unlike Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3 doesn't have the luxury of speed. Success comes from timing, stamina management, and learning enemy patterns. It's a game that demands absolute perfection in combat and strategic thinking. The Platinum reflects that. This one is a huge time sink. The Witcher 3 offers hundreds of hours of content, but to earn the Platinum you need to explore every nook and cranny, complete every quest, and master the intricacies of combat, crafting, and the Gwent card game. The most challenging element is probably the Death March difficulty. It requires a near perfect understanding of the game's systems, especially combat. Players who opt to complete the game on this difficulty will have to use every sign, potion, and bomb to succeed, while also managing stamina and positioning. A single mistake can lead to death, and it's especially punishing during boss fights. Not to mention the Gwent trophies. While you don't have to play it, you'll need to complete every Gwent quest and complete all the cards, which requires beating every Gwent opponent in the game, some of whom are hidden in the world. That means hours of time spent mastering the card game within the game. This is one of those plats that doesn't just test your patience, it forces you to become a master of everything within the game. The Kingdom Hearts franchise is known for its difficulty spikes, and Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix offers some of the toughest challenges in the series. The Platinum requires you to complete the game on critical mode, defeat every boss, and collect all the mysterious emblems, synthesized materials, and extra bosses that are scattered throughout the world. While the game's combat mechanics are fun and fast-paced, this plat challenges players to master them to perfection. You'll also need to make sure you completed every Keyblade challenge and obtain every unique ability. What makes this one particularly tough is the optional bosses, is Sephiroth, the Lingering Will, and the Data Organization 8. These fighters are some of the hardest in the franchise and requires a deeper understanding of the game's combat systems. The fights are lengthy, punishing, and demand perfect strategy. Here we are. We enter the domain of the truly unhinged. Platinum trophies that seem almost impossible, requiring not just skill, but a lot of luck. This is the realm where most people give up and abandon the quest. These trophies are the stuff of legends, and only the most devoted will ever earn them. This space simulator is one of the most massive games ever created, and its Platinum is not for the faint of heart. Elite Dangerous requires you to explore the vastness of space, but what makes it so tough is the game is an MMO at its core, meaning the difficulty and grind can vary based on the ongoing events and the universe's state. The Platinum requires you to fully explore every star system, participate in a multi-stage quests, and upgrade your ship to the max level. All of this is in a game that has an extremely high skill ceiling, with players needing to learn advanced physics and flight mechanics. There's no real endgame here, just a constant grind towards earning everything. Space is vast and unforgiving, and the real challenge lies in the time and mental endurance it takes to get to the plat. This one will push you to beyond your limits, but there's something uniquely satisfying about conquering the infinite. So this last entry here is not exactly about a platinum trophy itself, but getting a bunch of them. Let me explain. The PlayStation Trophy level system is a progression tracker that reflects your game accomplishments across all PlayStation games. Players earn 4 types of trophies: bronze, silver, gold, and of course, platinum, each worth a specific number of points. These points accumulate to increase your overall trophy level, which ranges from 1 to 999. The higher your level, the more you've achieved, but progression becomes slower over time. Reaching the platinum rank, not to be confused with earning a platinum trophy, requires an enormous number of points, which is considered a badge of honor among the most dedicated trophy hunters. While early levels come quicker, getting into the 400s and beyond demands constant grinding, completing games with challenging trophy lists, and earning multiple platinum trophies. Most casual players will never come close, making the Platinum rank a rare sight and a serious flex. The system also includes unique icons that change with your level tier, so your profile not only shows your number, but your status. Alright guys, so this is the end of the Platinum Trophy Iceberg. This was my longest video on the channel ever, and I just wanted to say, if you watched all the way through, a big ol' thank you to you. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what was the hardest Platinum Trophy you've ever had to earn. And that's about it. Again, thank you very much for watching, and peace!